Bridgerton has been dropping so many clues all along that only true fans would be able to pick up. And anyone could have easily missed these 18 details from the show, but this video will reveal everything to you. When it comes to hiding hidden details in plain sight, Bridgerton does an excellent job at it, as many fans wouldn't even notice that in the Bridgerton 3 trailer, the candlelight shown meant a great deal. So Penelope decided to look beyond Colin for a husband, but even though she said this, her candle kept burning, which meant she never stopped loving Colin. However, a shocking thing happened in the trailer. Colin's heart started beating for Pen in a way that made him know he was in love with her. His candle, which was burning low the whole time, lit up in a bigger glow and higher flames, so fire in Bridgerton can show intense attraction between a couple. Fans have always wondered whose story is next, but this has been teased a few times in the show. In season 2, when the siblings were playing the Pall Mall game, Colin's season was teased as he played his ball into wicket 3 and Benedict followed with 4, while Eloise would be the 5th season based on where she played the ball. Also, if you are the type who likes to skip over the intro, then you surely missed another hint regarding this. From the intro of season 2, Anthony was the number 1 as Daphne already left. Number 3 followed, which belongs to Colin. So this hidden detail was meant to tell the fans that Anthony will pass the ball to Colin, and many Bridgerton fans didn't catch it. But now it makes sense as they know which love story to look forward to next after Colin. With that last Easter egg, no fan would want to skip over Bridgerton's intro again, as Shondaland takes hidden details seriously as they got to put more of them in the intro. So in the intro, there are many Easter eggs to give fans a clue of what would happen in the show, and there were many of them in season 1. From the first image, we see a man and woman on the dance floor, which looks exactly like the dancing posture that Daphne and Simon took in the show. Then there's a sneak peek that a gun duel would happen in the season, which Anthony and Simon challenged themselves to over Daphne. And also you can see how the hands are firmly wrapped around each other at the end. So every true fan must now take the intros as seriously as the production does. Another fun Easter egg you missed in Bridgerton is on the poster for season 3. On the poster, they wrote, "Even a wallflower can bloom," with Pen's face in the mirror. Right behind that is a pattern many fans didn't read much into. Interestingly, this pattern perfectly matches Bridgerton's house wallpaper. So that could also mean the wallflower is already destined to bloom in that house, which is crazy. The Bridgerton siblings are all different but interesting. Do you know what else is fascinating about them? Their names. The Bridgerton siblings are named alphabetically from the oldest to the youngest. The first child was named Anthony, followed by Benedict and then Colin. Then it continued with Daphne and Eloise and moved to Francesca, and from there to Gregory and Hyacinth. And even though they weren't getting married in that particular order, their parents made sure to give their names a beautiful pattern. Also, that's what Daphne was trying to follow when she wanted her son's name to start with A. However, naming the Bridgerton kids alphabetically doesn't mean they were randomly named. The name of the last born, Hyacinth, was inspired by when their deceased father, Edmund, was picking hyacinth flowers for Violet. It was more like a reference to the shared love between herself and her husband when he was still alive. Bees are all over Bridgerton, and there are many reasons for this, but then most fans never notice that the Bridgertons always have a bee accessory on their outfits, but these are Easter eggs with even deeper meanings. In a flashback, it was revealed how their father passed away, which was through a bee sting, and in honor of his demise, the children wear a piece of bee in their clothes to always have their father's tragic story close to them. As said earlier, the bees are everywhere in the show, which every viewer has noticed. So this is an Easter egg trying to tell the fans that the spirit of Bridgerton's father is still with the household. A bee was present when Simon and Daphne were in bed, and another was present when Daphne was having her baby. Also, another bee was present in Anthony and Kate's bed as soon as they married, so the bee is watching over them. However, there's a funny theory that Edmund's spirit also stung Kate as a bee, so Anthony could see the love right before him. Another big hint in the Bridgerton 3 trailer for the fans is a message that says, "Diamonds aren't the only gems that sparkle," and following that statement, Pen made a big revelation in an emerald dress. Diamonds have always been chosen in previous seasons, but with Pen's season comes a different type of sparkle. Also, in season 2, the show hinted that an emerald season is coming up after Eloise's conversation with the Queen.
It is a delightful ball, Your Majesty. Very diamondy. Though I must admit I'm more of an emerald person myself.
Now the emerald is Pen, and the queen can choose other gems apart from diamonds, which actress Golda Rosheuel teased in an interview.
What is the title the queen gives to her favorite bachelorette?
Diamond of the season.
Oh, yes. Anyway. Oh, I can't say it because it's in season 3. Okay.
As soon as season 2 started with another steamy love story, many fans forgot the most important thing in the show. Simon was absent from Anthony's wedding. In season 1, Simon and Anthony were very close friends, and they even became in-laws, which made it strange that Simon refused to show up at his friend's wedding. Bridgerton may have tried to give an excuse for this behavior, but only true fans would notice why it doesn't make sense, as the actor Regé-Jean Page should have been recast. During the Pall Mall game in season 2, the siblings happily banter over who chose their most comfortable mallet color. After Kate and Edwina picked theirs, the Bridgertons rushed for the remaining mallets, and Colin stepped ahead to claim the yellow one, saying, "That's my one." And at this point, a true Bridgerton fan knows yellow is Penelope's color, so Colin happily embracing that color is the perfect Easter egg connecting them to their love story. One important detail about Bridgerton 3 is that her outfit color will transform from yellow to Bridgerton blue, but then more about her outfits will begin to change too. So Bridgerton teased many Easter eggs regarding the changes and glow up that Pen will go through in season 3, including her necklace. So just like her clothes and style would change, her jewelry will transform too, as it goes from a hideous one to a sparkling gem. And the neck piece is a standard gem, just like the Bridgertons wear silver, Featherings wear gold, and Sharmas wear rose gold. But then the necklace would look more expensive than the one she used to wear, which could mean she got it with Lady Whistledown's earnings or a gift from Colin. Also, with how much Bridgerton enjoys dropping Easter eggs, they didn't miss one that pays respect to the original author of the books that influenced the show, Julia Quinn. Like most people in the Regency era, Anthony keeps a note of important people in society who need to be called on, and a sneak peek into the note revealed that he plans to call on a certain Lady Julia, a romantic, and Miss Quinn, an exceptional writer. Interestingly, these are hidden details about Julia Quinn, an exceptional romantic writer who made Bridgerton happen. Although Bridgerton might change some things in the books while adapting the story into the show, they kept little things that matter, which only true fans can know. So in the Bridgerton era, a man usually dances with his wife once at a ball, as he will be busy going around to socialize with other people. But this wasn't the case with Anthony and Kate. Just like in the book, Anthony always checks on Kate and even dances with her twice, while it was said that most married couples danced once. Another crazy clue in Bridgerton could spoil season 3 for you, as this Easter egg gives full detail of everything that will happen in the season. This Easter egg was in the season 3 trailer, showing 2 people dancing on a wide dance floor. However, a closer look at the dance floor is an artwork that's very similar to the image of the Greek legends Eros and Psyche. Their story relates to Colin and Pen's, because Eros was tasked with finding Psyche a husband, but Eros fell for Psyche. Also, Psyche has 2 sisters, who represent Pen's 2 female siblings in the show. Then, Venus in Greek mythology is relatable to Queen Charlotte, and Venus was jealous of Psyche. And as you already know, the Queen is in a crazy competition with Lady Whistledown. Also, the Psyche's symbol is a butterfly, and Pen has always been adorned with it for a long time. Then, the same dress with the big butterfly is also featured in the season 3 trailer, even though she's dumping the yellow. While opening her wardrobe in the trailer, the true fans would see the hidden dress, which references her first ever ball in the show. Greek mythology plays a big part in Bridgerton 3, and the moving swans in Queen Charlotte's wig from the trailer represent transformation and beauty. And Penelope's story is all about that, which is a sign that the Greek symbols in the show aren't just for designs. Flowers also have a big impact on the Bridgerton show, and only true fans can notice them beyond the gardens, as there's always a flower accessory in the hairs of the characters. Most of Queen Charlotte's wigs might make this obvious, but all the other characters have them too, and it shows how every hidden detail is always intentional in Bridgerton, because every moment counts. Just one blink and fans could miss all of these Easter eggs.